What's up, guys? How are you today? So, in this tutorial, we're gonna build a beautiful podcaster UI, and see, it's so beautiful with so amazing animations. So, when I tap or click here, when I click on one of the cards, it has some beautiful anime rotating animation, and here we have a beautiful UI of upcoming tracks, and it's just a UI, it's not uh, fully functional. So here, recently play, yep, nice, and here with a nice animation. Okay, so let's jump to the coding, and here I have a blank project in Xcode named podcast app UI. So first of all, we have a group here, new group of model here, and a new file of Swift file named album.swift. Okay, here we have to import Swift UI instead of foundation. After that, we have a struct here, struct album, and it is identifiable. So here we have a variable of ID, it's equals to UUID and .uid string. And here we have an album name type string, and again variable of album image, again type string, and here variable is linked boolean and is equal to false. For default is equal to false. Okay, nice. So here we have some hard-coded data. Just copy and paste it. The stacks album. This is for the here the albums here. You see the album, we have album name and album image, album name, album image, and I see in a sec. I show you in a second the album images. So here we have the tracks. Let me just music list, and here we have top albums, albums. Yep. So here we have some bunch of tracks. Let me see what is happening here. Oh yeah, we have this typed here. Is liked. No, it's linked. Yep. So that's good. So here I just copy and paste the album's image. Don't worry about that. I will leave a link in the description for these pictures. You see, we have 10 albums here, and we have two background, color background and color play. Okay, so hit the coding. We have a new group here of view, and in view we have a home, Swift UI, home. Yep. So jump to the home here. Okay, so here before we start the UI, we have some variables here at state, private var expand cards is type of boolean and equal to false. Yeah, false. And again we have a state var current card here, and this type of album, and it is optional also. And after that you have at state var show detail. It is a boolean and it is equal to false. Yep. And after that we have at state var current index equal to type of int explicitly, and this is equal to -1. And we have a namespace here of animation, yep. And we have a state var card size equal type of cd size and equals to 0. And after that we have at state var animate single view, nice. I mean, it is a boolean and also false. Nope, that's false. Yep. And the last two, we have a state var of rotate cards, also a boolean and false. And the state var show detail content. Yep, is a boolean and also equals to false. So What is going on here? I think we are good to go. So here it is a top album animation property. Top album animation property. It is for that. And here we have the storing. Yep. Card to animate. Here we have a hero animation. It is for that animation. Yep. And it is a current album image size. And here we have this value is for single view animation properties. So nice. So let me show you. If I click this, it is for because of this animation, this variable animate single view animation. Okay. So head to the body. We have a VS stack first of all, and after that we have edge stack. We're gonna build these top buttons. Okay, and we have a button that do nothing here. Label. It is image. And system name image. The image name is line dot tree dot horizontal. Horizontal. Yep. And decrease. Nice here. So, and here dot font would be dot title. So after that you have a spacer. You have a button after that, and a label also. That image system name equals to gear shape. Gear shape. Yep. And dot font would be dot title. So here are edge stack. And for this one we have dot overlay content would be text. Podcast UI dot font would be dot title 2, and dot font weight would be dot semi bold. Okay, nice. And after that we have foreground color dot foreground color dot black. Yep, nice. And we have a padding dot horizontal. Okay, it's good now. So let's do the hit to the top album view here. This one. So after that we have a geometry reader. Okay, geometry reader. It is a proxy in. So we have a let size equals to proxy.size, and here we have a new widget of stack player view. So let's define this stack over stack player view. Here I think, yep, add view builder, and here we have a function stack player view, and we give it a size of city size, and it returns to us some view. Okay, so here after that we have a variable of height for height. Let offset height equals to size dot height multiplied by 0.1. After that we have a zero stack and a for each, and the for each we have stack albums dot reversed, and here we have album. Okay, stack albums, here we define this one. Here stack albums, this variable is data. So after that we have a let index equals to, so here we need another function of get index. So here we have a function of get index, and it gave album, here type album, and it returns an integer, and return stack albums, stack albums dot first index, where current album, no, here, current album in, so return album album.id equals to current album.id, else would be 0. Okay, just have a space here. Okay, nice. So here we have to use getIndex here, and album will be album, and we have image size equals to size dot width minus cg float of index multiplied by 20. Okay, we don't have any error. Okay, so here let me use this one, and after that we're gonna head to the, so we have a stack player view, and size would be size dot frame would be width size dot width, and height would be size dot height, and alignment would be dot center. Okay, nice. So here in the stack player view, for it we have the image album dot album image. Yep. So here we got that, and it is a resizable, and aspect ratio would be content dot fill. Okay, nice. And we have a frame of width would be image size divided by 2, and height would be image size again divided by 2. So nice here. And we have that clip shape would be rounded rectangle, and it has corner radius of 20, and style would be dot continuous. Okay, here nice styling. So for the rotation effect, we have dot rotation effect, rotation 3D effect. Yep. And we have we don't want this one, rotation 3D effect. So here we have dot init, and we have degrees, and we have expand cards. So it's expand cards. I misspelled it. Let me just fix it quickly. Expand cards. Yep. Expand cards. If expand cards and current index not equal to index, then would be -10, else would be 0. And the axis would be x1 and y0, and z would be 0. And we have an anchor here. So anchor would be dot center, and anchor z would be 1, and perspective would be 1 also. So here, nice. After that, again, we have another rotation 3D effect, and we have dot init, and we have degrees, and if expand cards and current index equals to index, then and rotate cards equals to true, it equals to 360, else would be 0. Axis would be x1, and y would be 0, and z would be 0 again, and we have anchor here, dot center, and anchor z would be 1, and perspective would be 1 also. So here, nice. And after that, we have dot match geometry effect. ID would be album.id, and the namespace would be animation. So nice. And the offset would be y cgfloat dot cgfloat index multiplied by -20, and offset again would be y expand cards. If expand card is minus cgfloat of index multiplied by offset height, else would be 0. So here, nice. After that, we have untap gesture here. Let me show you the untap gesture here. So if I tapped here, it expand the cards. Okay. Here we have that untap gesture. So if expand cards, so here in the block, we have it. Else, let me begin with else, and with animation that's interactive, spring, and the response would be 0.6, and damping fraction would be 0.7, and blend duration would be 0.7 also. And in that with animation block, we have expand cards equals to true. True. Yep. Just a space. Okay. So in the if block, we had another with animation here. Dot interactive spring, and the response would be 0.7, and damping fraction would be 0.8, and blend duration would be 0.8 also. So in this block, we have the card size equal to city size, and the width would be image size divided by 2, and the height also would be image size divided by 2. So current card would be dot album, current index would be index, and show details equal to true, and rotate card equal to true. So after that, let me why it is, yep, equal to true, yeah. Nice here, and after that we have a dispatch queue dot main dot async after, and we have a deadline of that's now plus 0.1 second, and we have here for the execute part, we have this block of code, we have with animation, and it is spring animation, and here animate single view equals to true. Yep, nice here. So here I think it's working. Yep, see, it has some bugs here right now. I will fix it in a sec. So after the else and the gesture, we have the offset, and y would be show detail, if show detail and current index not equal to index, then size dot height multiplied by current index minus 1 and 1. Okay, and here we have 0. So here we said that the y offset, here we set the y offset if show detail and current index not equal to index. So then the offset would be size dot height multiplied by, again we have another condition here, if current index is the index is greater than the current index, so it multiplies the size height by minus 1, else it multiplies size height by 1. So if the show detail and current index is not equal to index, it is that. If it's equal to index, it is 0. So our offset would be 0. So here we have end loop here in the stack, and we have offset here. For the y would be expand cards. If expand card is true, and the offset height would be multiplied by 2, and else would be 0. Yep. So, and the frame would be width, size dot width, and the height would be size dot height, and we don't need alignment. So here, yep, and we have content shape. It is a rectangle, and here we have on tab gesture. We have a width animation block, and it is dot interactive spring, and response will be 0.6. Damping fraction will be 0.7, and the blend duration would be 0.7. Yep, nice. So after that we have the expand cars.title. So here, okay, nice. I think here we have it. the nice animation. We can also see it here. See here, yeah. So here after the single, let me we have here, yeah. After the stack player view, so after the stack player view, we have the recently played. Here we have recently played section. So it is a VS stack, and the VS stack we have the alignment of dot weighting, and the spacing will be 15. And we have a text here of recently played, and the font weight would be dot semi-bold, and the padding would be dot horizontal, and the padding button would be 10. So in the VS stack we have a scroll view, and it is a horizontal scroll view, and show indicators equals to false. So after that, here we have H stack. So we have H stack in the scroll view, and the spacing would be 15 also, and we don't use the content. So in the H stack block, we have a for each of albums. Yep. And here album in, and we have a let of index here equal to get index, and it is equal to albums. So here we have image of album dot album image. Yeah, and it's a resizable and aspect ratio mode, content mode dot fill, and the frame would be width 95, and height would be 95 also. So nice here, and that flip shape would be a rounded rectangle with a corner radius of 15 and the style dot continuous. So here on tab gesture, so if I click, let me show you, if I click in this one, we go to the single view like that. Yep. Yeah. So here in the tab gesture, we have width animation block, again that interactive spring, and the response would be 0.7, and the dumping fraction would be 0.8, and the blend duration would be 0.8 again. So here we have the current card. Let me show current card. Yeah, let me just spell that again. So let me fix this again. So F, so current card. Yep. After that we have this one, current card, and we have again this one, current card. Yep. So let's spell that. So where are we? Where were we? Okay, current card equals to album, and current index equal to index, and show details equal to true. So let me just get rid of this one, and current index will be this one. Don't use that one. Okay. So here after that, after the with animation block and the dispatch q dot main dot async after, we have a deadline dot now again plus 0.1 second, and for the execution part would be with animation dot spring, and it equal animation single view dot equals to true. So here let me see what is happening here. Why is yell at us? The padding would be dot horizontal and would be dot bottom. So conflicting arguments, after that, and this one, I think. I don't know why there's conflicting arguments. So here we have a image, album image, and untap gesture, and we have a continuous here. So untap gesture, we have wait animation block, and here dispatch queue. So let me just comment this one. Nope. So I found our mistake here. Here in the clip shape, we have the corner radius or corner size. So we have 15 and it is good to go. Yep. Nice. Sorry about that. I misspelled. I just do it so quickly that I can't focus on that. Okay. So after this padding, we have the here an end recently play and end body. And for the body, we have the padding that's vertical. So, and we have a frame, and max width would be dot infinity, and max height would be dot infinity also, and alignment would be dot top. Nice, and the background would be here color, here color, background, and would be ignore safe area. Okay, nice. And after that, we have the overlay. So for the overlay, we have if lit current card equals to current card and show detail. So in that we have a Z stack, and it would be the color, background, and ignore safe area again. And we have another widget of single view. So let's jump to building this single view builder. So after the stack player view, we have a single view builder and sign view builder, and it is a function of single view. So here it accepts the current card, and it is an album type of album. Yep, and it returns a sum view for us. So the single view here, it represents this view here, this playing view. So let me just attach it to our view, and after that we hit coding, styling that. So single view, current card, and we pass the current card. Okay. So for the single view here, we have via stack, and it is a spacing of 0, and we don't use the content here. In the via stack block, we have a button here, and it is a rotate cards equal to false, and with animation, show details content equal to false. Okay, after that, we have a dispatch queue, that's main, not async after. We have a deadline of now plus 0.15 second, and for the execute part, in this block we have wait animation, and it is interactive spray, and response will be 0.7, and dumping fraction will be 0.8, and blend duration will be 0.8 again. And in the with animation block we have a self current index equal to -1, self current card equals to nil, and show detail equal to false, and animate single view equal to false again. Okay, and here For the label, we have image system name chevron dot left, and here font would be dot title 2, and the foreground color would be dot black. So nice. And after that we have a frame here, dot frame. Max width would be dot infinity, and alignment would be dot leading. And after that we have a padding of horizontal and top. So here, let me show you. So I just really click that. It is this button here. So it works great. So after that we have a scroll wheel, and it is that vertical, and we show indicators false. And here we have via stack, and the spacing would be 25 here. So here we have an image, and it is a current card.album image, and it is a resizable. Let me just pass to this view. Okay, it is a resizable, and aspect ratio would be dot fill, and dot frame would be width of card size dot width, and height would be card size dot height. Okay, let me show you again. So nice here. After that, let me just turn this one to true. So current card and show detail. Okay, current card would be equal to 1. Let me show you just show detail would be true, and this one will be stack albums 0. 1. Let this. Okay. So where were we? Single view. Yep. After the aspect ratio, we have the frame, and after the frame we have clip shape. So here we have rounded rectangle, and we have corner radius of 20, and style would be dot continuous. And here we have dot rotation effect, rotation 3D effect, and would be dot init, and we have degrees here, and if show detail and rotate cards, we have minus 180, else would be 0, and the axis would be x1, y would be 0, and z would be 0 again. So, and here we have anchor here, we have dot center, and anchor z would be dot 1, and perspective would be 1. Okay. So another rotation 3D effect here, dot init degrees, and if animate single view and rotate cards, 180, else would be 0, and axis would be again x1, y would be 0, and z would be 0 again, and the anchor would be dot center, and anchor z would be 1, and perspective would be 1 also. So we have dot matched geometry effect. The ID would be current card dot ID in animation. So we have dot padding dot top, and would be 50. So here, let me show you. We have nice rotation effect here. So here, nice. So after that, we have a wheel stack, and this is spacing of 20. Let me just show you. Yep. We have a text of current card dot album name, and we have a font dot title 2 and dot bold. And we have a padding dot top, and would be 10. And after the text, you have edge stack of spacing here 50. And for the content, here you have a button. So let me show you just quickly. In this edge stack, we have this one: the shuffle button, the pause and play button, and the play button. Okay. So we don't want this one. We have a label of image system name. To the shuffle. The font would be the title 2. Let me show you just quickly. This one. Yep. After that, we have a button. Again, do nothing, and the label would be image system name pause dot fill, and the font would be the title 3, and the frame would be width of 55, and the height would be 55, and the background would be here would be a circle, and here the fill color would be color, and here would be color play. After that, the foreground color would be dot white. So let me just show you. This is one. Nice. So after that, we have another button. Do nothing again, and we have a label here, and we have an image system name. It is arrow dot 2 dot square path, and here the font would be a title 2. And that foreground color would be dot black, and the padding would be dot top, and would be 10. Okay. Here, let me show you. This is one. Nice. Here. Okay. After that, we have a text of upcoming tracks. Here we have a text upcoming track. Here font would be dot title 2, and would be dot bold, and padding would be dot top, and would be 20, and padding would be dot bottom, would be 10, and the frame max width would be dot infinity, and alignment would be dot leading. Okay, so here after that you have for each, and we have albums here, and here in the for each we have album, and this one. Yep. So for the upcoming tracks, let me show you. We have another widget. We have a track card view here. Let me show you this one. Okay, so we have a track card view. After that, after this one, we have assign view builder, and it is a function track card view. So it receives an album, type album, and it returns a song view. Yep, nice. And here, let me just add it to this edge stack, and we're good to go. So we have track card view, and album would be album. And after that, we have we head to the track card view. Yep. Here it is an edge stack. So it is an edge stack with the 1, 2, 3, 4 elements in that. So it is a spacing of 12. And in the content, first of all, we have an image, and it would be album image. It is resizable. And aspect ratio would be dot fill, and frame would be width 55, and height would be 55. That clip shaped. It is a rounded rectangle, and is a corner radius of 10, and the style would be dot continuous. So after this image, we have let me show you quickly. We have a VS stack here with these two. So we have VS stack, and alignment would be dot leading, and spacing would be 8. So here we have a text, and album name, album name, and the font weight would be dot semi bold, and here we have a label, text, So after this label, we have icon here, and the image. System name would be headphone dot circle. Yep. So let me show you quickly. So here we have it right there, and here after that we have dot font will be dot caption, and foreground color will be dot gray, and here after the VSI we have frame of max width would be dot infinity, and alignment would be dot link. So let me check that. Okay, nice. After that we have a button here. Let me show you. We have a button here, and we have a label, image, we have a system name. So if album that is liked, so it returns the heart dot circle dot fill, else would be just heart dot circle. Yep. And the font would be dot title tree, and the foreground color would be, if album is light, then would be pink, else would be dot gray. So gray. Yep. So let me show you. So here, nice. After that, and the last one will be that button here. So nothing again, and label would be image, system name would be ellipsis, and the font would be title tree, and the foreground color would be dot gray. Yep, nice here. So here, after the for each, here we are in the track list. Here we have an album name and player icon, and we have the padding that horizontal, and the offset would be for Y would be show detail content 0, else would be 300. So let me show you. Nice here, and the opacity would be show detail content would be 1, else would be 0, and here we have the end album image, and the frame would be max width dot max infinity dot infinity. Yep. And after the VS stack we have dot frame max height would be dot infinity, and the alignment would be the top here, and on up here we have a dispatch queue dispatched queue dot main dot async after, and the deadline will be dot now plus 0.15, and for the execute part would be wait animation and dot easing out is in out, and the show detail content equals to true. Yep, nice here. And this is the one. I think it is completely done. So yeah, nice. Okay, I just do that and run it. So here we have it, I think. So my mistake. Here we have, I have to, instead of this, we have the home. Here, yep. And I hit the run again. So nice here. When I click on this, it doesn't change anything. I think I missed something here. So let's double check. Okay, false. So here after the one, doesn't work, the tab gesture. So in the single view here we have show detailed content. Yep, on up here. Yeah, this is here. We have the dot opacity. So here, nice. It's working right now. Yep. So I hit the run. Here we have it right there. Nice. Here, nice. So when I click this, here, nice. We have nice animations here, and we have nice uh track card view. Nice play. Okay, nice. So hope you like it. Share it with your friends. Hit the subscribe button, hit the like button, and see you in the next one. Have a good day.